This video provides an overview of a sample 3D report, named for the three dimensions it provides through three separate assessments, DISC, teams, and values, to provide you with a comprehensive profile on your personal communication preferences and behavioral styles through the DISC assessment, your preferred role or style in a team setting with the teams assessment, and from the values assessment, a look at the value system that motivates your behaviors. In this case, the report is for our sample member John Smith, and these are his results. But the structure of the report will be similar to your 3D report. Once you've finished reviewing the video and studied your own assessment report, you'll have a better understanding of DISC theory, and the results from your personal report will have a greater focus. So let's start with the structure of the sample report. Pages 2 and 3 provide a basic overview of DISC theory that will help you as you interpret the rest of the report and begin to see how the theory applies to you. The scoring of the assessment appears for the first time on page 3. The scores are presented in three graphs, each with a different context. The first graph reflects how you feel your colleagues expect you to behave in your role. It's called the public self. The second graph reflects and is called the core self. It's your go-to position when you're under pressure or feeling stressed. The third graph depicts your own view of your usual behavior. It's called the perceived self. It's how you see you, and it can be a little bit different than the other two graphs because it excludes any blind spots you may have. The highest dot above the midline is considered the primary style. The next highest is called the secondary style. If there was a third dot above the midline, it would be considered the tertiary style. It's most common for people to have two styles above the midline and two below. In this sample report on page 4, John is categorized as a DC style using the keyword of challenger. This category reflects his unique combination of characteristics and traits. We'll revisit the graph results when we get deeper into the report, but I want to point out now the basics to look for in the graphs. You'll notice the midline in each graph. The midline is important in that it serves as a fence between factors that have more influence on a person's behavior compared to those that have less, or possibly unexpected influence. The results below the midline are important to analyze, especially if they're very far below the midline. The farther a person sits below the midline, the more likely they are to demonstrate the opposite behaviors to their style if it was sitting above the midline. More on this later.